Hello class, welcome to IT190 Unit 9. We have the seminar. This is going to be the seminar for Unit 9, and this is the seminar that you can use for your option 2 as well, so that you can gain the points back for this. Starting off on your main page right here, obviously, and you have your announcements that you go to every Wednesday. You'll see your announcement right here. We're going to go to the Unit 9 Cybersecurity, which of course tells you about the topic for this week, explaining to you that we're working on the computer security and how to protect yourself in today's online digital threats. You're going to read Chapter 10, Cybersecurity, complete the labs for Unit 10 as you're reading 10.2 through 10.6, and then complete the following quizzes that are within those as well. I do have some optional resources here. Of course, these are optional, but it does consider internet security, cyber law, computer security, network, and wireless security. Again, my information is here for texting or emailing me. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. And then the PowerPoints for that week, for that unit as well. Moving forward, I'm going to go to what it is that they offer you, what it is you're going to do, and how you get there. Table of contents for Unit 9, overview, outcomes, reading, dashboard, and all. Let's go to the overview itself. The unit is the key to you learn importance in computer security and how to protect yourself from today's online digital threats. One of the largest issues to protecting the confidential information and understanding how malicious attackers can gain unauthorized access to a system. So your outcomes for this week basically is explain how to secure and protect computers and computer networks. But what you will learn at the end of this unit is to be able to describe common threats to data confidentiality, data integrity, and data availability. The CIA triad, right? Evaluate email messages to determine if they represent possible social engineering attacks. Describe common access control frameworks. Configure account access on various computing devices. Encrypt files on a computer. Configure anti-malware and firewalls to protect computer systems, and implement fault tolerance and disaster recovery for different types of data. Let's go to the reading part. Of course, you'll be reading Chapter 10, Cybersecurity. Then we have the discussion for this week. Discussion relates to the CIA triad itself too. Data security has many challenges with protecting information. Explain the objective of the CIA triad and how each supports managing cyber threats. Basically, considering confidentiality, data integrity, and data availability, there are some features within each one of these. In essence, what does it take to keep it confidential? What does it mean by the data integrity and the data availability? In my post, I definitely cover those, kind of expecting you guys to do the same. Of course, we want to know what that's all about. And what is the importance of it? I mean, it definitely has to do with the fact that it's the largest asset for any company to keep that information secure, right? We want it to be confidential. We want it to be the integrity of that information to be what it is. And of course, to be available as we need it. Always some good reasons for that. What you're going to be learning this week, of course, the labs that you'll be covering, which does segue over from the CIA triad itself to confidentiality, such as social engineering, something that you might run into. You know, you want to encrypt your files and all that. Keep your home wireless network secure, password settings. Definitely areas within what we're talking about in the cybersecurity realm itself. And then some labs, your quizzes, things that you're going to be covering within those areas. Okay. And of course, as you're doing this seminar option 2, be sure that you cover these important points here within that, so I can give you full points for that. Missing any of those does mean that you're going to lose some points for it. So want to make sure that I know that by reading what you have written to me and you're submitting does show that you did watch the video. So I'll go back to TestOut itself. I'm not sure if I want to go through TestOut itself. Let's see what it does show. Only because you guys are reading through it, labbing through it. Let's see. And we're going through that through 10.6. There's quite a bit to cover with that. I don't want the video to go too long, but we will be covering security threats, authentication, data encryption, device security, and business continuity plans. Very important to understand business continuity plans for basically keeping that business ready in case anything goes down. You want to have that all ready and in place to know where to go to. It's kind of like the binder that you would get in a business itself. You get the big binder, someone's in control of the big binder, keeps it up to date, keeps it going with who you're going to call. What are the next steps? What are you going to do if your site goes down? Do you have a replacement site to go to? Different things like that. So I will cover a little bit about this itself when it comes to the CIA triad, basically because that is a big part of cybersecurity. When it comes to confidentiality, how do you keep it secure? How do you keep it from getting hacked? What are the different ways that things can be taken? How do you keep it private? How do you keep it secure? Right? There are things that can happen in your office, such as snooping. People around the corner looking at your screen just for the fact you don't know they're there, but they're curious as to what you're doing, or they might see you putting in your password, whatever that might be. There are different variations when it comes to security itself that you might not be thinking about. This dives deeper into that to give you an essence of the importance of that security and that confidentiality that everybody wants to make sure is happening within any aspect of business and home. Authentication is another one too. You want to authenticate. You want to make sure that the stuff is authentic to what it comes from, right? You have different ways of getting into your logins. You have to authenticate it. You use a password. You might use bio manners, your eyes or your fingerprints, that kind of thing. Multi-factor authentication. That is to make sure that is you getting into your information. And that's why you want to make sure that those passwords are secure, that they are hard to hack, hard to break. It's really important process of all of that. And you want an accounting of that. You want to make sure that that's tracked. In the internship, we track it. We know exactly when someone has logged in and when they've logged out. Of course, we do have a clock in, clock out system, but the system itself will know when they've logged in. We don't know for sure where they've gone to at any point, but I know when they log in. I know that they've been here on that day. I know that, if they've been gone for a week, that they've been gone for a week. It shows in there because they haven't logged in for a week. Those are different things to understand. Now, non-repudiation is a fact that, someone can't deny that they have been in there. They can't say, oh, I was there at this point. No, you weren't. It shows right here you haven't logged in. If you did, it was an unsecure way of doing it. You didn't go through a single sign-on. You didn't go through that multi-factor authentication to get in there. So authentication is very important when it comes to cybersecurity as well. And data encryption. Data encryption has to do with the fact that, you're encrypting that. You're putting a password to it. You're making sure that is a way to not pass through, right? When you do your network, you're setting it up with an SSID. You're setting it up with the encryption. WPA2 is what it used to be. We have WPA3 now. You put it in folders that you put secure folders. You put a password on it. There used to be ciphers. There's encryption, and security is something that has been, used for so long and in so many ways that it's just known as part of security. Okay. And of course, device security, we're talking passwords, right? We're just a way of enforcing that so that it can't be hacked, so that it is defended, so that it is not open to the public. It is secure. It's confidential, right? That's it. We know it's secure. It's confidential. So networks have firewalls. They have anti-malware software. They have, e-commerce has their stuff encrypted too, and it has it secure for several reasons. You don't want to have credit cards taken, credit card numbers, or identification taken from another outside source. You put a Windows Defender, right? A lot of us just use straight up Windows Defender for that. So that is something very, to basically secure your system. And like I said, with business continuity plans, that it's important to keep that in place when you have a company. You might use a, secure plugs that you have on there that have, that once it's sort of like a generator, but it is a plug system that has its own little memory to it, but it also has its own battery. It's a backup system that will keep your computers running so they'll not go down, and you still have all that in place. Fault tolerance, you have network hard drive systems where there's several hard drives in there where they're fault tolerant, so they don't wipe all the other hard drives down. You can hot swap those. You can take those out, put a new one back in, and you're all set to go. A lot of different areas where you want to secure the system, backing it up, making sure that you have everything in place for that. And that's a business continuity plan, or a disaster recovery plan is within that too. We're actually going through that in the internship right now. They're building one for the internship itself. So in case anything goes down, we know where to go. We probably go from Microsoft and Azure. We'll go over to Google and have everything in place there. We have everything built up. They've created a new website. They create a backup system, who to contact, and all that too. So it's very important for any company to make sure that you have that in place. And from that, I think that is all. This is very short. Not expecting to have an hour long, which is fine. Make sure that you are watching this, that you complete your option 2, and you submit it to your seminar assignment Dropbox. And I will be going through and grading all of that for everyone and getting everything all caught up. I thank you all for watching and all that you guys do. Thank you. Be strong, be safe, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.